Oh ja, guten Morgen. Das ist ein T-34. Herbert. How you doing, Corvus? It's full of wheels. It seemed like as good a storage location as any. Let's tip them out without losing them. No more in there. Good. I glued my wheels together off stream last week or the week before. I cannot remember. And maybe that needs to be tightened a bit. I could see it moving. Hello, Herbert, Comtad Glue Erpaderp. That's some good type in there. I think most of these wheels are gonna be a bit of a bitch to fit, because I did some test fitting as I was putting them together, which seemed like the smart thing to do, and it was. That I've had to hack down the end of the axle there, and it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little wonky. Also, gotta pay attention to where the drive sprocket and idler wheels go, because if this is hard up against the thing, it won't fit the tracks. Or it probably will. It needs a little tiny space though. So that's kind of annoying. How did you enjoy Train Yard? Sorry I missed it. It was good. I didn't get much train done. A lot of it seems to be cleaning and painting models and making dioramas for people. And also the trains don't crash into each other, which was a bit disappointing, but I had to try it anyway. It's not a bad game. I want to build a proper layout. I think it makes sense to glue. Also, I'm avoiding any steps with photo etch today. I just couldn't be bothered. So I'm gonna do the wheels and start on the tracks and maybe start on the turret. T-34 is in German. T-34. T-34. 5 und 8. 8 und 5. I don't know how to say 85. I'm gonna try gluing wheels on. If it doesn't work, avenge me. I don't know if it's exactly wise. I don't think there is going to be a problem putting the drive and idlers on. They probably won't cause too much interference for the track. German is such a lovely language, so easy to learn for non-Germans. I learned German in both primary and high school, and I don't remember anything. Actually, one of the main memories of learning German, because being a young kid, we would draw tanks in our books, obviously. They weren't actually Nazi tanks or anything, but our German teacher flipped out because the war was in the past and all of this. Which, I mean, fair, I guess. We were defacing the books. No good punk kids we were. Hey, you know Scheinwerfer! That's all you need. Well, yeah. And sauerkraut. So I can order food in a restaurant. Also, you may notice that I've fixed my overhead camera. It no longer has that annoying sepia tone. I've no real clue how I fixed it. It was probably the long unplugging of it that I did. If I have these in place, it should make it easier to get the road wheels lined up. I'm assuming. I don't think that's a bad assumption. That's not enough wheels. I don't know that I can sit it without nudging the drive sprockets out of place. In our English book at school, there was an article from a newspaper. Dustman still on strike. We annoyed our teacher by changing it to Dirtman still on strike? Dutchman? Excuse me. He just didn't want to empty all those bins full of sprues. That's all. Just gonna sit and enjoy the scent of glue while these bond for a bit. That's probably enough. I get some footage of the axles I've hacked away at. I was just about to say, not one of these wheels is perfect, but that pretty much fit perfectly. So, none of these wheels are perfect. They're all going to be awful. They don't line up perfectly, but it's a Soviet tank. They're never going to line up perfectly, and it's on purpose. I like people saying we had respect for our teachers. Well, that's not true. I know that because I was there. Yeah, me too. I mean, in some cases I feel bad about it being a disrespectful shit. But like, being a disrespectful shit is traditional for children. And some of the teachers really deserved it. Some of them were really bad. One teacher hit me once. He got in a lot of trouble. Okay, that one is definitely not perfect. Feckin' dog! Hope he painted his car pink in revenge. Well, I was in like 6th grade. I probably wouldn't have known how to figure out which car was his. Kids are pretty stupid, you know. Hopefully there's enough contact area inside the wheelie bits for them to actually be bonded really good and strong. I have to reattach that box as well. That's annoying. I'll check to make sure I haven't lost any of the photo etch doodads. Not even recording. It's not perfectly neat, but I think it's neat enough. And in 6th grade, you don't even have access to pink paint. Not the kind that would work on a car anyway. I don't think the shitty finger painting acrylic paint or whatever it is would cut it. You just wash right off. And this one won't even go all the way onto the axle without some convincing. That might stay there. It's difficult to find a good way to hold this without feeling like I'm going to break something off again. Okay. Just take the entire axle bit off with it. That's good. That's real annoying. I haven't built many mini art tanks, but the running gear, and it's not completed yet, so far has been a pretty unpleasant experience. It's taken way more work than pretty much any other tank I've built. And I'm not satisfied with this wheel. I demand satisfaction. Might be okay if we sit it like that. It's not very heavy, so it's not going to have a lot of pressure to nudge everything out of place. And now watch Herbert holding the kit till the glue bonds. He then puts it down. You can't get no satisfaction. Do. Hey, go for it, painting. How you doing? I hope you're well. I do think I've lost the towing cables. And I don't have a lot of desire to make a folded canvas. Most of the hull bits are on. I've just got to add, like, the fuel barrels. I haven't done that because it involves photo etch. I think I'm going to save all the photo etch till the end, because it's just so easy to knock off. So I've had to put the ones on the sides in order to get the plastic parts in, but man, I don't want to have to keep re-gluing photo etch. Tracks. Each track links contains 72 tracks, 36 MH1, 36 MI1. I can count to that. No, I think that's all. Just sort of deal them together. Okay. We get 9 of each. I can't do the head math to work that out. Use my calculator. Should be 4 of each sprue for each side. And look at that. That's exactly how many of them there are. And hopefully, if I look at them, they don't require a ton of cleanup. Just got to be careful clipping them out. Head math is easy. Just count your heads. If it's 2 or more, consult a doctor at once. Man, but I can't see my head to count it. Alright, let's see how neat I can do this. Not very, because it's a rounded edge. So it's going to need cleanup anyway. Let's start with 3. It starts with 3. Or rather, 6, technically. It would be nice if this kit came with a jig. I don't think it did. instructions show nothing of the sort. I lost my knife for a second. It's got a nice fresh blade. Because before I started this, I vaguely remembered complaining about having a dull blade last time I modeled. So I took action, action, action. What I'm hoping, but don't think I'm actually going to get, is that these parts will sort of clip together. Cleaned up. Probably cleaned up enough. Throw it on the ground. Looks like it sort of sits together, but not really. It doesn't seem to want to sit together perfectly either. I was hoping to do minimal cleanup on these links. Tracks are the reason why I like painting and building wargaming models more. I remember building the Hungarian Turan 2. About 3/4 of the building time took making the running gear and tracks. It's not my cup of tea. That's fair. I definitely understand why people either prefer single part track sets or rubber bands. I can't really get behind the rubber band thing, unless it's like a Sherman or something. But I can understand the point. Especially when you get uncooperative links. See, that does... Now if you can see that, where it doesn't want to sit flat. One side wants to hang down, the other side wants to sit up. This is probably going to take a long time. Probably going to have to build in short sets, especially for the curved bits around the ends. But eventually it'll get done. Maybe. I'll clean the rest of these up. Probably just cut away a little too much of the track there. That's okay. Had help with the running gear and tracks of the Terran 2 by IBG. They hear the same on ass. As you built and watched the part of the video several times. Well, I'm glad that was helpful at least. Sometimes it's nice to be helpful. I really wish they'd stuck these links onto the sprue with the sprue gate on the ends. In my opinion, that would have made a lot more sense. In my correct, not at all humble opinion. Don't forget, these are Soviet tracks. The great leader must be satisfied with them. And if I'm not satisfied with them, being me being the great leader, Great as in very good, not very large. And good as in skilled. I'm a very skilled leader. Now that I'm thinking of it, I could probably just take the metal tracks that I put on the, I think it was an Italeri T-34. I could probably just take those and put them on this. That would defeat the purpose for showing how the model goes together, though, I suppose. That's why they call you Herbert Erpaderp. They do now. It might not be true. Wang. Heck. Come on. The other one stays together, but you're all like, nah, I'm gonna be loose. I'm just gonna be loose, dog. It's a loose unit. It would be so much better if they just linked together and sat how they should. I don't want to fight each individual track link. I will. I have better weapons than these track links do. Like fire. I might light them on fire. This is the kind of arse shittery that you have to put glue on, make a mess of it, and then try to get it onto the model before the glue sets. Fighting every single track link is the task given to you by Mr. Miniart. Tell Mr. Miniart that he's a dog cunt. The least they could have is easy to put together links. Like, if they would just sit together nice so that I could do them, like, glue them all at once, that would be acceptable, but it's not the case. Let's get a very nice, very close shot. Maybe if I put them in a different order. Fucking dog. The problem with this is there's so little area that once I put glue on them, it's going to be hard to touch them without getting my finger in the glue. And it might be a case I have to glue two together at a time. I wasn't recording that. Dang it. It might be a case of just trying to get as nice a fit as I can and gluing those that do fit together. And then trying to get nice fits between those assemblies. Gluing those together. Is that part even flat? There's a slight bow to it. Very slight. Man, I can't believe at the start of this build, or the tracks at least, I was naive enough to hope that they would just clip together. What an idiot I was. What do you mean, was, Herbert? Doesn't look like my internet is coming back tonight. I'm sorry to hear that. That's always really annoying. It'll come back as soon as you fall asleep. That's how it works for me. The other night when I had to cancel my stream because the internet shit out, I'm pretty sure as soon as I laid down in bed, the internet came back on. Lucky, yeah, phone. I'm glad that phone internet is separate. My phone, personally, my phone internet is worse than using my Wi-Fi in my house. But it's still, when it works, it's still good to have. Doesn't work when the power goes out. I should get 5G when there's no power, but I don't. Piss. It really shouldn't... Well, I guess it hasn't taken me the entire stream, but it really shouldn't take me as long as it has done to get 6 track links together. These are fucking dog shit. I guess they're not really that bad looking. Functionally, though, not having a lot of fun with them.
That isn't very poggers.
It isn't very poggers. There's 72 links per side. Very tempted to go and buy some aftermarket tracks. Maybe that'll work better on the other end. Only just. This is going to be dreadful, trying to get them around the drive and idler wheel. You know what is poggers? Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Stupid sexy Flanders!
That is poggers. The spacing is uneven there. Like with the rest of them, there's a slightly bigger gap there. Probably not so noticeable when the whole thing is together, but I can see it and I don't like it. That's not going to be enough tracks, is it? Almost. Oh, this is gonna take years. Maybe I'll fix this. Right. These tracks are a Burger Panther flashback. No way, the Burger Panther tracks were way better than these. They fit together pretty much first go. They were a little bit annoying to use on the jig, but I mean, I got more than a couple of them together in 30 or 40 minutes. I think one of the supports for this box completely broke off when I broke it. Are you sticking your tongue out correctly? Probably not. It'll probably stay there for at least a minute. There should be... it looks like the hinge is under there. Would be a contact point. Don't know if that's reaching them. Hopefully. Should have thought about that before putting that on. Somehow I haven't lost any photo etch bits or broken any of the railings. So that's a win. Can't complain too much about that. I want that to go together more better. Probably shouldn't fiddle with it too much, otherwise I'll just ruin it. Now, I'm going to torture myself by doing more of these. Why? Why, Herbert? The main reason is because the alternative is doing some photo etch bits. Guess I could start on the turret. I don't really feel like it though. And these tracks do have to be done eventually. I could probably actually 3D print an alternative. And probably when I'm done here, I'll be looking that up. Now I'm confusing myself with piles of tracks. I do appreciate that these have, like, I can't even read it, but there's text molded into the links. Might be numbers. That's kind of neat. You missed a bit, fool. I think the thing to do would probably be to figure out how long a section we need to go from the bottom to the top of the rear and front wheels. Just keep on track. Damn it, Trakan. If I do that, it shouldn't be too hard to get the bends right. Because then the rest is basically just straight. straight lengths. Or in regular people terms, straightish lengths. Well, they seem to go together well. This is not going to be a continuing trend, but it's nice when they do go together well. It's nice to imagine what life would be like in a perfect world, where all your links just go together. Delusional too. Mr. Miniart included some perfect fitting links, so you get hope. I hope he can destroy with the other links. Man, what a prick. How rude. Hey, Tommy the Templar, how you doing? I'm doing all right. I appreciate that you've been watching my videos. We need more people like you in the world. I wish I could get this done as fast as it's going to be in the video. This is probably barely even going to be a minute's worth of video, where I mostly whine about the tracks. Now I'm not sure which platform to watch on. Why not both? Why not both? They're probably annoyingly out of sync, so if you've got volume on both, it's probably really annoying. Thank you for the follow, Tommy the Templar. Personally, I prefer Twitch. YouTube isn't exactly designed or used properly for streaming. Twitch is like a minute behind. Usually it's YouTube that's way delayed. Especially from what I can see on my end. I can see in my OBS display, like I'm holding my knife and I'm like stabbing. And then I start stabbing on the YouTube studio. Still wait. There, now I'm stabbing YouTube's thing. Let's hope these two go together. Sorta. Not quite how you want them to go because it's a very different angle. Most likely something on your end. It's probably just the vagaries of the internet and the limits of the speed of light and whatnot. Or when you loaded the pages or something like that. The fun part is figuring out which links go together in which way. And if one way doesn't work, trying another way. It's an adventure. So this has a very slight bow to it, which is probably normal for Soviet tracks. That'll work. Hey, that's pretty good. The hobby owes me money now. I demand fees and royalties. That's cool though. It makes me feel good to know that people watch my videos and that it gets them interested in the hobby. Because it's a good hobby and it needs more people in it. Looks like it's working. More uneven tracks, but they're even enough. Like they're straight along the outside, which is important. And straight enough when you look at them side on. The bits without the horn are a bit thinner, which is how they should be, but it does make it a little hard to get them lined up. I mean, worth buying miniatures from other companies is kind of difficult to just say. It depends on, like, if things from Warlord, if you can get things from them that you can't from Warlord, or you just like them better. Sure. Just because? I don't know. I often hear people complaining about Warlord's scale because they're heroic, so they're chunkier than real people. I often hear people complaining about that. And some other makers have more accurately proportioned figures. So if that's something you find to be a problem, then it's worth getting different figures. very subjective, though. If you can get figures at a better price, that's worth doing. Personally, I try to avoid figures. I wouldn't say I'm the miniature guru. I am a wizard, though. I have grey hair in my beard. Those are wizard hairs. I think the important thing when discussing what anything is worth doing is, like, if it's really something you decide for yourself a lot of the time. I think that's ready. Man, how long have I been going? Hour and a quarter? I've almost got... I can do the math. 12 links together. Wow. The music makes me feel like I should be having a triumph. A reason to buy metal miniatures. Mostly people like the weight of metal. I personally don't really like metal because you have to use super glue if there's any gluing. There's some sculpts just aren't available in plastic. You can only get metal. Certain things are only available in plastic, you know? So if you want those, it's worth getting. Same with tanks. The resin and metal tanks I don't like as much. There's more building, which is where I get a lot of enjoyment, in the plastic kits. Come on, just go together. Is it so difficult? $12 links, so just 60 more, and another 72 links for the other side. Hooray. I'm not going to do them all on stream. This is the sort of thing you do, like, 5 or 6 links at a time when you've got 10 minutes to spare. Or you want to watch something and have something almost mindless to do with your hands. These aren't ones that you can do mindlessly because you have to pay attention to how they're going together or if they're going together. That's probably almost okay. What about if I try the other way? I'm just going to accept that as a yes, because that's good enough. Hey, Deathlight Coast. Always with the butt licking. How often do I stream? Modeling, I stream 2 times a week. Today at this time and tomorrow at evening my time. So like 10 or 11 hours from now. Plus 24, because it'll be the next day. Gaming, I usually do more of that because it's easier. I do try to do a little gaming stream most days when I'm not modeling. Would you please just sit level, at least? A little bit level? I know it's a lot to ask. That's probably good enough. We can cover it in mud, if it's bad. You are doing things mindlessly? Great. You've qualified yourself to become a management consultant. I might be overqualified. Hey, Leopard Leonardo, how you doing? That's almost going to work perfectly. Herbert the Soviet tank builder Erpaderp. I am certainly building a Soviet tank. I'm probably a bit more demanding of things to be straight and neat and gap-free than the real Soviets. They're probably about an hour and 10 to get 12 track links almost together. I'm gonna call that good enough. It fits between the wheels, the guide horns do. Those are only single link tracks. They are single links and they don't fit together that well. I naively hoped they would clip together and sort of be like a flexible run of tracks. Excuse me. So I've got 12 out of a total of, I'm not good at math, 100 and something. 144. Fuck. It's fine. It'll take a couple of weeks to slowly get through them. Oh no. I'm knocking Mod Podge over. Don't knock the Mod Podge over. The next instructions say, build the turret. Go on, build the turret. There doesn't seem to be quite as much to this. There are more track links. Hopefully those are different bits on different sprues, because I don't think we will have any spare for the regular links. Might as well start on the turret. It's important to pay attention because there are drilling instructions on the turret. There's also internal wall bits of the turret. I don't know how important that is going to be for somebody like me who is modeling it with the hatches closed. This is 35th scale. Every single link weighs around 13.6 to 14 kilograms with almost 2 tons of track. I could pick that up. Easy. Get rid of these doobers. Now, I don't know if those nubbins will interfere with anything. They probably will, so... Go away, nubbins. You are hindrance nubbins. Trekan is leaving without paying any attention to drilling instructions. Man, what a rebel. Thank you for dropping by, Trekan. Have an excellent food time. I am a little envious. I would like food. Favorite scale? I don't really have a favorite scale, but I quite like 48. I think 48th scale is probably, for most, the ideal, or at least for me, the ideal display kit size. This is, thankfully, not a full interior kit. It does have interior, but not a full one. There's a breach for the turret. I'm gonna see how much of that I can get away with omitting. Now that is also not a guide knob. There is some cast texture on the back, along the whole turret. I'm trying not to damage. There is a little bit of flash along the bottom though. Perfect. And by perfect I mean good enough for Soviet work. I do have many models for miniature games, but I don't really find time or have anybody to play them with. I suppose if I wanted to, I could, but the urge isn't that strong. And careful removal of strong Soviet plastic. That's what it is. Now, what are these drilling instructions for? Almost certainly handrails around the back of the turret. Almost certainly. Which we don't install until much later. But if we don't put the holes in, we cannot install them. Makes sense to me. But it is only showing 2 drilling things. Also, I'm wondering if I can get away with omitting those internal wall bits. They don't seem to have a function to hold the gun in. Do they interact with the bottom of the turret? Looking at the shape in there, I would say that the internal walls go down and sort of work as keying. So I'm not going to omit them. I like the help of keying. Also, I'm not going to forget to do the drilling. Or am I? Herbert, forget things? That's impossible. There. I guess Actually, no, there is another drilling instruction. Why don't they put all three in the same place? Because fuck you, Herbert! Maybe I will video this so that I can be all like, look at me remembering the drilling instructions for once. Viewers will be so impressed and shocked. No idea if this is the correct bit size they want, but it's what they're getting. There's 3 slots here. Got to assume that the middle one is the correct one because that's what it shows in the instructions. Move my finger so I don't drill into it. Drilling complete. Forget welding, embrace drilling and sticking rails in the holes. Yep, it's a much better way to do it. There's only so many welders in the factory, and greedy Ivan is using all of them. I just made a scratch there that I didn't mean to. So we'll add more scratches to get rid of it. Bits of plastic stuck in the holes we don't really want. This probably doesn't have to be too neat. Just as long as the nubbins on top and bottom won't interfere with anything. Comrade Ivan will be brought to the front lines to test the welds himself. He will be the projectile. It sucks to be him. It's what he gets for drawing attention to himself. Isn't there a story when some dude told Hitler a joke so bad he got sent to the Eastern Front? Probably. That sounds like the sort of thing Hitler would do. I can't tell which side this belongs on. It's got that nubbin there. Both sides have that. And that's in the bottom edge, so it goes like that. That's definitely enough of a area to link in with the bottom of the turret. So that'll be helpful, I hope. What a terrible thing to have happen. But I guess that's what you get for being a Nazi. Okay, let's glue these in. We use lots of glue. Praise be the glue god. I guess if it's hanging too low, we can just cut it back a bit. I'm sure that's fine though. Fine and dandy. There's a bit more internal detail you could glue onto that, I think, on the next page. I don't think I will. Go tell the joke to the Russians. The Russians would love that joke. Became a used car salesman. So, a scumbag is what he became, or continued to be. And there's some pretty nice looking latch thingies. Is that for the outside? That's probably inside. Hard to tell. It doesn't show you what that is referencing, but I'm pretty sure it's that. I think I can get away with omitting most of this gun breach. Most of the details on the gun breach, all we seem to really need is this bit. So 2 parts to hold the gun onto the actual turret. He sounds like a bad person. I'm glad that I can tell jokes and not be punished by Hitler or anybody. All my jokes are fantastic, though. Okay. I'm kind of wondering if I can enclose the turret. Well, I can't because I need to put the gun breach in, don't I? Got what looks... I can't remember if it was this kit where some of the plastic is also numbered PE on the sprues. For some reason, these clear sprues are labeled PE. So you look at the instructions and you think, oh, photo etch. Nope. At least he didn't joke to Stalin. Straight to Gulag. Okay, number 6. 2 of them? They look the same. I'm not going to worry about doing any... leaving the clear parts clear for painting for these. Now, how far up should that go? Because it can go all the way out of the hole. It seems to have become stuck there. Piss. 7,000 pisses. No, don't fall over. Ow, that's sharp. I'll just clip it on the underside. That'll go out the top. Easy. Ish. Okay, there are little covers for these. I think this should just sit inside the little round bit. It might be better to put the cover on and then poke the top of the vision device out. That seems more better. And so we've got this little ventilation boobies. NG. There's too many damn sprues in here. NG. Need a dispenser here. Automod is silencing you because you said killing Jews. That's why it did it, even though it's perfectly fine in that context. Automod doesn't work with context, it's just bad word is bad word. He sounds like a pretty terrible person. Okay, there's more doodads I'll need, but for now, the shrouds for the vision devices and the ventilation boobies are all I need. Just need my ventilation boobies. I'm not cutting off guide knobs, am I? No, I wouldn't do that. History is full of weird, terrible shit. That's looking neat enough. And if it's not, we'll just chuck some mud on it. Probably could have gotten someone a little more cleaner to lead their country. Yeah, maybe. But then maybe not. Okay, is that gonna stay by itself?
Balls.
Exactly. That works. That'll stop the actual vision device from sitting up too high. Hey, Nightbot's doing the thing where it tells you to use Amazon Prime. That doesn't pop up very often. Better to have enemies of the communist near them. Maybe. Okay, camera. Awaken. Awaken and do my bidding. What the fuck? I didn't want to open Twitch. That's not what I did at all. Don't know if these rotated, so I'm going to try and get them facing forward. Nice and good. Eyes forward, T-34. Lots of glue in the ventilation area so that the crew can only breathe acetone. Acetone. Yum. Sits a bit high on this side. Pressure. Pressure will help. Have to hold that for a moment. Ugh. I mean, Winston Churchill was pretty awful too. I guess you don't get to be a world leader without being pretty awful. Probably not near the Hitler level, but still. Can't trust anybody who's a politician, no matter what side they're on. Thought I lost my vision devices. Surely that's had enough time to bond so I can push it up and in there now. If you can actually hold the part in the correct orientation, Herbert, that would be probably pretty good. There's basically none of the clear parts sticking out. That's probably good. I don't think there's anything that goes over top of those. Is there? Not in that step. No hats for the vision devices. Whoops. I think that's a good amount of stuff done for one day. I'm getting hungry, and I have to go out anyway. So I might as well end it here. I'm gonna end it right here. And then maybe I might work on the tracks through the week and come back next week, and maybe we'll have enough to do the ends. Maybe not. I might decide to do something else or just finish the turret. We'll see. It's crazy how the good guys win every war. That's exactly what happens. Every time. Has nothing to do with history being written by whoever won. Tomorrow night, I'm not sure if I'm going to bother doing the last bit of the Burger Panther on stream, but I probably will. I've only got the crane pulley bit. I don't know what you call it. And a couple of bits for the lower hull to put on. That could very well take a couple of hours. But until then, maybe I'll do a small raid. There's often people I like online at this time of day. Maybe I just won't do a raid. I can't find anybody I want to raid. It is almost midday. I get to go out and buy fish food. And maybe Herbert food. So I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll wait for the raid. Also, Caps, stop yelling! I'll be back. Can't figure out how many hours. It's a lot. Keep an eye out for notifications or whatever. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.